بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. والصلاة والسلام على أنبياء الله جميعا وعلى سيدهم وخاتمهم حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، سيما سيدنا ومولانا الإمام أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب سيد الوصيين وقائد الغر المحجلين، وعلى حفيده مولانا وسيدنا الإمام الحجة بن الحسن المهدي المنتظر عجل الله تعالى فرجه وسهل مخرجه وجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين لله شهداء بالقسط ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. O who you believe, be steadfast for God. كونوا قوامين لله, be steadfast for God. شهداء بالقسط, having witness to justice. ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على أن لا تعدلوا. Do not let your hatred of certain people to swerve away from justice. اعدلوا, be just. هو أقرب للتقوى, it is nearer and closer to piety and reverence. واتقوا الله, and reverence God. إن الله خبير بما تعملون. Indeed, God is well aware of what you do. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Every person in this life is searching and looking for happiness, to be happy. But only few people in this life can attain happiness. Why? Because many people, though they love to be happy, but they don't know the way and the road that leads them to this happiness. They don't take the right path to happiness. And tonight, we are commemorating the martyrdom of the greatest man after the Prophet in the history of mankind. A man, despite numerous challenges for 63 years, from the beginning of his birth till the end of his martyrdom, till the last day of his life, he witnessed and experienced limitless challenges and afflictions and wars and enmity and hatred, but he was the happiest person. Despite these challenges, he was the happiest person. And this happiest person is a person who is qualified to teach us the meaning and the path and the road and the means to happiness. My friends, Imam Ali alayhi salam says, your happiness in this life depends on your human relationship. Your relationship with people around you determines your journey of happiness in this life, whether you're going to be happy or unhappy. He says, it's not your money, it's not your wealth, it's not your position, it's not your power that determines your happiness. None of these things. You may have wealth and money, but you are not happy. You may have a position, the highest position in the government, but inside you are not happy. You have power, you have family, you have supporters, but maybe you are not happy. But there is something that guarantees happiness for you, and that is your human relationships. Your human relationship with people around you determines your happiness. This is why he says, take care of this relationship. work on this relationship. Tonight, we have to learn how to foster, how to establish these human relationships. If you have good relationship with people around you, Imam Ali says, definitely you're going to experience happiness. So he says, all people who are around you are divided into 3 categories, 3 sections, 3 groups. He says, with each group, you have to have a certain type of behavior. With each group of these 3, you have to have a certain type of behavior. If you behave well with these 3 groups, then you are much closer to the path of happiness and peace of mind in this life. So he says those group, number 1 are family and friends. Your family and a friend are the first group. The second group are those people who are not family and friends. They are strangers. They are people in the society, people that you do not know. That is the second group. And the third group, he says, you might have some enemies. So even with enemies, you have to have certain behavior. And listen to what he says about how to deal with each and every of these groups, specifically how to deal with your enemies. So he begins with your enemies. He says, with your enemies, deal with them in justice. And he takes the Holy Quran as an evidence here, as a direction. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, kunu qawwamina lillah. This is chapter 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah. Kunu qawwamina lillahi shuhada'a bil qist. Witnesses over justice. And do not let your despise or your hatred towards any person, any family, any country, any group to swerve from course of justice. وَلَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنَآنُ قَوْمٍ عَلَىٰ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا. If you have hard feeling regarding someone, don't let this hard feeling prevail and make you divert from course of justice. Even if you have hard feeling, even if you don't feel good about anyone, still deal with that person, with that family, with that group, with justice. And he's the embodiment of this example. And I'm going to show you how Imam Ali succeeded to attain real happiness despite having enemies. Friends, in this life, no one can exist without having enemies. Who is better than God in this life? Who is more forgiving, easygoing, merciful, compassionate, loving than God? No one. God has enemies. God has some people who do not like him. They do not believe in him. إِنَّكَ تَدْعُونِي. We just rehearsed this phrase in Dua al-Iftitah. إِنَّكَ تَدْعُونِي فَأُوَلِّ عَنْكَ. You call upon me, I turn myself away from you. وَتَتَحَبَّبُ إِلَيَّ فَأَتَبَغَّضُ إِلَيْكَ. You show me love, I show you hate. وَتَتَوَدَّدُ إِلَيَّ. You show me affection, فَلَا أَقْبَلُ مِنْكَ. I reject you, I repel you. كَأَنَّ لِيَ تَفَضُّلَ عَلَيْكَ. As if I am the one who is doing you favor. I am doing God a favor, not he is doing me a favor. This is the feeling of someone who is arrogant, who does not like God. So God has enemies. God has many enemies. So you cannot escape this. No matter how nice you are in this life, at the end of the day, there will be some people who do not like you. And Imam Ali alayhi salam says, dealing with justice with your enemies, it's not easy. It's not easy. He says it's not easy to forgive someone who hurts you. Not 1 or 2 or 3 times. He's been hurting you for several decades. For 20 years, for 30 years, for 50 years. That person is hurting you. He's harassing you. He's damaging you. And at the end, you cannot forgive that person. It's not easy. This is our challenge. The challenge is not just to fast a few hours or perform few rak'ah, few units of the prayers per day or per night. This is not a big challenge. This is the big challenge. The big challenge is to be able during the night of Qadr, the night of destiny, these important nights, to pray not only for yourself and your parents and your family and your friends, but to pray for your enemies too. This is not easy, my friends. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's easy to say it, but it's not easy to do it. But Imam Ali alayhi salam was able. This is why the path to happiness is not easy. 99.9% of the people who were asked, what is your ultimate goal in this life? 99.9% they answered, to attain happiness, to attain peace of mind in this life. But they don't follow the right path to it. This is why we fail. This is why we are unhappy. Sometimes we are frustrated. Sometimes we are angry because we do not follow that path. Imam Ali was willing to forgive his enemies, and this is exactly what he did. He forgave the people of the battle of the camel, Al-Jamal. He forgave them. He forgave Lady Aisha and others who participated in that. He forgave the people of the Siffin and Nahrawan. He almost forgave his murderer, Abdul Rahman ibn Muljam. Tonight, Imam Ali is telling his children are gathered around his deathbed. You know what he's telling them? He's telling them, my children, you have two solutions for this man who is incarcerated in the next room. Abdul Rahman ibn Muljam was captured and put in the room next to the room of Imam Ali, next to his room. And Imam Ali will send him food before he eats. He says, "Ihmiluhu ila asirikum." Take this food, take this drink to him next door. Before he eats, he gives preference to his murderer. And then he says to his children, I suggest you forgive him. But it's up to you. I'm not going to force you to do that. My suggestion, if you can, Hassan, Hussein, Muhammad ibn al-Hanafi and others, his children, to forgive him. Forgiving his murderer. Unheard of in the history of mankind. Unheard of. Because Imam Ali was happy and he knew this is the path to happiness. Imam Ali says, when someone inflicts a damage on you personally, forgive him. If he inflicts a damage on the whole nation, you may not forgive him because there are many people involved. Thousands, millions of people are involved. But if he does something bad to you, then you may forgive. You may forgive. So deal with your enemy's injustice. In the battle of Siffin, led by Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan, that battle took place in the province of Anbar, along the bank of the Euphrates, Nahrul Furat. So Muawiyah arrived first. When he arrived first, he ordered his army to cut off the supply of water from Imam Ali's camp. So for a few days, Imam Ali's camp did not have water. Imam Ali said, the only solution, we cannot retreat. The only solution is to go, advance our army, and remove Muawiyah and his army, and then we have access to the water. And this is what they did. They started a Hamla campaign, military campaign. Within a few hours, they were able to reach the bank of the Euphrates. And they seized that area. Some people came to Imam Ali, they said to him, let's do what Muawiyah did to us. Let's cut off the supply of the water from Muawiyah's army. Imam Ali said, no, I don't do that. This is not me. This is not Ali ibn Abi Talib. We don't do that. If they made a mistake, we do not repeat the same mistake. I don't retaliate. We have to teach them a lesson that water has to be accessible to even your enemies in the battlefield. So Imam Ali ordered his army to make water, to carry the water and give it to the army of Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan. See, 25 years after this incident 136 Hijri, in year 61 Hijri, the son of Muawiyah by the name of Yazid murdered the son of Ali by the name of Hussein, only a few kilometers down that spot where Ali and Muawiyah, where Amir al-Mu'mineen and Muawiyah met in Siffin, on the bank of the Euphrates to the north. This is to the south, near the city of Karbala. The same incident took place 25 years later. The son of Muawiyah denies the son of Amir al-Mu'mineen and his companions the water. And therefore they die thirsty on the bank of the Euphrates. This is the difference between truth and falsehood. In their character, in their manner, in their behavior. My friends, some people, they may rejoice and have sense of relief when they take revenge on their enemies, when they retaliate against their enemies. This is their joy. This is their happiness. But there are some people, on the other hand, they take relief and they rejoice when they forgive their enemies, when they pardon their enemies. And this is the path to happiness. Happiness is not a pill that you take every single morning and you swallow. It's not a pill. It's not a chemical pill. Happiness is a behavior. Happiness is a choice. It's a bitter choice. It's a difficult choice. To forgive your enemy, it's not easy. Someone who hurts you for so many years, someone who's maligning you, disrespecting you, putting you down, damaging you, destroying your life. And then at the end of the day, you come and say, I forgive you. It's not easy. It's not easy. But if you, God says, if you do that, you are a step further towards happiness. وَإِن تَعْفُوا أَقْرَبُ لِلتَّقْوَى. So this is how you deal with your enemies. How do you deal with strangers? Imam Ali says the second category are the strangers. People do not know. People in the streets. People you meet in the marketplace, in the street, in the parking lot, at the airport, in the hospital, in the school, in the workplace. We meet many people every single day. How do you deal with this group of people? Imam Ali says, you deal with this group of strangers that you don't know. They are not friends, they are not families, they are not neighbors. They are strangers, total strangers. Maybe they come from different color and different culture and different language and even different religion. They don't share the religion with you, but they share humanity. إِمَّا أَخٌ لَكَ فِي الدِّينِ أَوْ نَظِيرٌ لَكَ فِي الْخَلْقِ. Imam Ali says the entire creation, they fall into two categories. Either brethren in faith or equals in creation. They are equal in creation. They are a human being. They have a human soul. They carry a human soul. So they deserve respect too. Imam Ali says deal with this group of people with ihsan, with goodness, with kindness, with wholesomeness. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. There is a person, wherever he goes, wherever he lands, he becomes a source of goodness and kindness and help. And this is mentioned in the Quran. وَجَعَلَنِي مُبَارَكًا أَيْنَمَا كُنْتَ. An example of that, the prophets of God, among them our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and among them Prophet Jesus, Isa alayhi salam. In Surah Maryam, وَجَعَلَنِي. This is how he introduces himself. God made me, my Lord made me, mubarakan, blessed, a source of blessings, a source of giving, a source of guidance, a source of love. أَيْنَمَا كُنْتَ. Wherever I go, not just in Palestine, wherever I go, I become a source of goodness. I know a person who lived at least in 10 different countries throughout his life. That person lived at least in 10 different countries. Wherever he went, to any country he went and he lived, he was a source of goodness. So when you go now, after so many years, people remember him in goodness. They say, we miss Fulan. when Fulan used to live here in this town for 2 years, 3 years, sometimes 5 years, he was a source of a beauty, a source of a blessing, a source of unity, a source of love. وَجَعَلَنِي مُبَارَكًا. There are people who are source of goodness. Ask yourself tonight when you go home, before you sleep tonight, before Salatul Fajr, at the last hours of the day, ask yourself this question. Every woman and every man, including myself, we should ask ourselves this question tonight. Am I a source of goodness to my community and my family and my society? Or otherwise? You know the answer yourself. You know the answer yourself. Ask yourself, are you a source of goodness? وَجَعَلَنِي مُبَارَكًا. If you are a source of goodness, then you are number one in Laylatul Qadr in the eyes of God. God does not look at how much prayers and dua we recited during these nights. Though they are important, du'as and Quran, they get us closer to God. But these are not the essence. The essence is your heart, the purity of the heart. The purity of the heart. If your heart is clean, I know some people, they don't make time to listen to the dua because they are serving, they are helping, they are guiding, they are supporting. Their job, this job of service, is more important than listening to the dua, because they are putting this dua in action. When we listen to the dua, we listen to it, only listen. But those people who are helping and serving tonight, serving others during night of Qadr, they are putting the Quran and dua in action. This is the practical dua. When you help people out. So ask yourself. On the other hand, there are people who are a source of hurt and injury. When they land in every community, in every spot, they do evil. And this is a theory mentioned in this book, in the Holy Quran. وَالْبَلَدُ الطَّيِّبُ يَخْرُجُ نَبَاتُهُ بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِ وَالَّذِي خَبُثَ لَا يَخْرُجُ إِلَّا نَكِدًا. God says there are two examples of humans. One is good and pure. And the good and the pure, they are going to produce and give goodness and purity. On the other hand, there is someone who is evil, and that you do not expect from evil to do good. And evil cannot produce good. وَالَّذِي خَبُثَ لَا يَخْرُجُ إِلَّا نَكِدًا. Support people and help people. Don't be selfish. We live in this life, on this planet Earth, for a number of days. Last Ramadan, 1443. We had just gotten out of this pandemic last year. We had sessions here. I remember there were some people last year here, Ramadan 1443. Now this Ramadan 1444, they are no longer here. They are not with us. Some of them died at the age of 40 or 50. Young. This is a reality. If you want to expedite your journey to God, your spiritual journey to God, and get close to Him, do good. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Sometimes with your tongue, you can be a source of goodness. Sometimes with your deeds, وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. Do good, support. Sometimes people need shelter. Sometimes they need medicine. Sometimes they need food. Sometimes they need clothing. But sometimes they need a smile. Sometimes they need an advice. Sometimes they need some direction. Sometimes they need some counseling. Sometimes they need some empowerment and encouragement. And you, most of you you have all these things at your disposal. So you have to spend and you have to give. This is the essence of the night of Qadr. This is how we transform ourselves, not only through dua, but through making a vow with God to change our behavior. And even to do good, be a source of goodness to strangers. Imam Ali says, ihsan to strangers. Ihsan to strangers. So number one, he said, justice with your enemies and ihsan, wholesomeness and goodness and kindness with strangers. And then he comes to the third group. The third group is your family and friends. So how do you deal with your family and friends? What does he say, Imam Ali? Let me hear the answer from this honorable audience tonight. How do we deal? How do we deal with family and friends? Those are very close to us. If we deal with enemies with justice, with strangers, deal with strangers with what? Ihsan and goodness and kindness. How do you deal with family and friends? Let me hear some of the answers in this honorable audience. From the sister's side. How? What does Imam Ali? Imam Ali says this is the path to happiness. If you want to be happy, this is how you behave with these three groups. So how do you behave with your family and friends if you want to be on the course, on the pathway to happiness? What do you do with your parents, with your siblings, with your children, with your family members, with your close friends? How do you deal? Respect for all. Respect for all. All the humans. Imam Ali says even respect to your enemy. You may speak the truth about your enemy, but you may not disrespect your enemy. So how do we deal with family and friends? Sisters, at the back, you all have families and you all have friends. What does Imam Ali, your Imam, say about that? Love. Imam Ali says love to strangers too, to animals too. No, above love, above patience, above respect, above mawadda, which is affection, above. It hits the ceiling. It hits the ceiling. Amr bima'ruf to all people. You enjoin good to the entire humanity. No, this is something, Equity to your enemies. You have to be just to your enemies. No, those are your parents, your family members. It has to be the highest level of akhlaq and manners. What is it? Nothing is above that. Nothing in this life is above what I am going to say. Ahsan, sacrifice. Say salawat for him. The ultimate. بله میدونم شما همیشه میگه. صلوا على محمد وعلى. It's not a night of laughter, please. Tonight is the martyrdom of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. The ultimate giving in this life is sacrifice, is altruism, is selflessness. When you put others before yourself. So Imam Ali says when it comes to your mother and father and family and even friends, you may put them before yourself. Sacrifice. How many of us we are willing to sacrifice for our families and our friends? How many? Are we really sacrificing? If my parents want me to be close to them because they are ailing, they are elderly, they are sick, they need help, and I am the only son, the only daughter, and they need someone to be next to them at the time of their old age and their need. But I have a lucrative business, job, position somewhere else. Or my wife says, no, I don't want you to go there. I want you to stay with us. Though I can afford to be with them, with my parents. Who should I put first here? This is a test. Many people fail in this test. Many people fail in this test. They put themselves before their parents. Imam Ali says, deal with your family members with sacrifice. Put them first before yourself. If you want to be happy, This is the path to happiness. This is how we attain happiness. Happiness is very elusive. Why? Because we do not follow that path. We go into wrong direction. But if we listen to him, and he's our leader, and if we are truly his Shia and his followers, then we have to listen to him. He says, put your family before yourself. Once you put them before yourself, you're going to have a real sense of relief and happiness, a real sense of joy and victory, a real peace of mind, a real peace of mind. And therefore, Imam Ali did not only put his family before himself, he put the whole society before himself, the whole country before himself, the entire nation before himself. His nation was number one. Imam Ali alayhi salam, when he came to the city of Kufa, there was a designated palace for anyone who rules in that city. Anyone who comes as a ruler, sultan, he will stay in that presidential palace. Imam Ali was the only one who refused. He said, this is not for me. I'm not enchanted with this place. I do not aspire to live in this mansion, in this palace. The name of that palace was Qasr al-Imara. It's damaged now. You can see the ruin of that palace next to his mosque. You can see the walls, the old walls, goes back to 2,000 years old. He refused to stay in that. He said, instead, I am going to build a home and office for me next to the masjid. He and his children, they started building a small hut, which is made of mud, not bricks, mud, for himself. He said, this is my center, this is my home, this is my kulbeh. We refer to our mansions, usually, biyayit kulbeh ma. He lives in a mansion, he calls it kulbeh. No, that is not kulbeh. Kulbeh, this one. The home of Imam Ali in Kufa was a truly kulbeh. It was a small hut. Imam Ali refused to, though it was his natural right to be in that palace, but he said, no, this is not my inspiration, this is not my enchantment. I am here to serve, I am not here to enjoy. I am here to serve. And therefore, Amir al-Mu'mineen was not only a leader. Sometimes we have a president, a leader, period, no more. Amir al-Mu'mineen was a leader, a president, plus murabbi, nurturer, trainer, teacher, mentor. This was more important than being a political leader. He's a mentor. And Imam Ali was the only leader that not only him was pure and good, but he raised his entire family with no exception. His entire family. All men in his family and all women in his family were pure and good and perfect. Imam Ali was able to control the seed, but he did not allow the seed to control him. Many of us, we have money, but we allow the money to control us. But a few of us, we control the money. We do not let the money control us. Many of us, we enjoy influence and power, but we allow this power and this seat to control us rather than we controlling it. This is the difference. Imam Ali says, zuhud asceticism. Asceticism means you renounce the dunya. He says zuhud does not mean you do not own the dunya. You may own everything in this dunya. You may become the multi-billionaire in this dunya. But zuhud means you do not let your wealth controlling your feeling and behavior. You control your wealth. You are the boss over your wealth, not vice versa. What is happening today in today's world, we allow the money to control us. We allow the money to tell us, no, don't give. Because we are enchanted with that money. We love that money. We are not ready to spend it. We are not ready to give this money to anyone else. So in this case, the money is controlling me. It's not me. The money is the owner. I am not the owner of the money. Imam Ali says you have to be the owner. Be multimillionaire, but be the owner of your money, the real owner of your money, the real controller of your money. Have the will to dispose your money, to give it to the right cause. This is the difference. Tonight, the family of Amir al-Mu'mineen are gathered around his deathbed. Very difficult moment. The head of the family is going to leave soon. They're going to see him in this life for the last time. And they are bidding farewell to him. And listen to his last statement before his death. The last statement of Amir al-Mu'mineen before he left this life. He says to his family, men and women are gathered in that small room. It's packed with his sons and daughters and grandchildren, and his extended family are gathered around his deathbed. They know he's going to leave in a few hours from now. So this is his last will and last statement. He says, أوصيكم بتقوى الله ولزوم أمره. The first thing your Imam, the Imam of the Muslims, the Imam of the Shias, uttered before his death, before his departure, he said, Taqwa Allah, reverence for God. Keep God in mind. God is observing, God is seeing, God is knowing. God is watching. God is different than the government. We can get away with the government. We can get away with the judiciary system. We can get away with the cops. But with God, He's different. Let's observe God in our life. أوصيكم بتقوى الله ولزوم أمره, and follow the instructions of God. وأن لا تبغي الدنيا وإن بغتكما. Do not make your ultimate goal this dunya. Give some time for your akhirah. Don't only come to the masjid on the nights of Qadr and the rest of the year you do not remember the mosque. Don't do that. Give some part of your time, your effort, your energy to the masjid, to the house of God, to the Quranic recitation, to the prayers every single day. Every single day. ولا تبغي الدنيا وإن بغتكما ولا تأسفا على شيء منها زوي عنكما. This is another element of happiness. Do not feel sad for anything material you missed in this life. Don't feel sad for it. If you missed this opportunity, maybe it wasn't good for you. Maybe God loved you. He did not want you to get this job or this money or this person or this house. Maybe He loved you. Wallahu ya'lam wa antum la ta'lamun. God knows and we do not know. So maybe God made the right choice for you. Don't feel regretful or sad for anything material you missed in this life. وَقُولَا بِالْحَقِّ. Always speak the truth. Always speak the truth. وَعْمَلَا لِلْآخِرَةِ. And always work for your akhirah. وَكُونَا لِلظَّالِمِ خَصْمًا. If someone is an oppressor, whether he's international oppressor, political oppressor, social oppressor, family oppressor, a relative, a friend, a neighbor, a politician, stand against that person. It's an army, stand against him. A government, stand against him. وَكُونَا لِلظَّالِمِ خَصْمًا. Be an antagonist to the zalim, to the wrongdoer. Don't shake hand with an oppressor. Don't say to an oppressor, ahsant, good job. At least remain silent. Don't support an oppressor. Remain silent. Don't compromise your values. كُنَا لِلظَّالِمِ خَصْمًا. On the other hand, وَلِلْمَظْلُومِ عَوْنًا. Stand with the mazloom. Don't look at the identity of the mazloom. Anyone who is really mazloom, being wronged, being abused, being neglected. Nobody is helping him, has no voice, has no supporters, cannot afford an attorney, has no defenders. You rush to his help. Stand with that person. At least you can stand with your words. With your words. Give him words of comfort to that person. And do not look at the identity of the madloom. Madloom could be from your own people. He or she could be strangers from other people. Stand with them, at least with your dua. We cannot help all the oppressed people in the world, but at least we can do something significant for them during the nights of Qadr. And that is dua. Prayers for the people of Palestine, for other people who have been wronged and abused today, worldwide, in many geographic areas. Pray for them. Pray for their victory. Pray for their freedom. للظالم خصما وللمظلوم عونا أوصيكم وجميع ولدي ومن بلغه كتابي. I am giving this wasiyah, this will to you, my family, and all those who hear my voice. Imam Ali says, which is you. You are hearing his voice, his will tonight. أوصيكم بالصلاة. He says, take care of your prayers. I mentioned last night, a lady approached me a few nights ago. She said, Sayyid, I know some people who fasted during Ramadan, but they don't pray. It's a reality. It's true. People think that let's fast because it's a cultural thing. Kids in the family are fasting, so I may fast, but they don't pray. You disconnect yourself. You are losing. You are not gaining anything. The prayers and the fasting, they complement each other. They integrate each other. They support each other. Fasting does not work without prayers. Neither prayers works with no fasting. Unless you have a reason not to fast. You are sick, you are traveling. Otherwise, we must fast. And Imam Ali says, connect yourself. Do not disconnect yourself from God. Don't say that God is in my heart and I think about Him day and night. There is no need for me to perform prayers. This is not right. Do you say to your family that you are in my thoughts and my prayers? I love my wife and my kids, but I'm not talking to them. Do you say this? You don't say this. It's silly. You don't say it. You need to speak to God. You need to observe the 5 daily prayers. And then he says, Allah, Allah bil Quran. Read this book. If you don't understand the Arabic, read the translation. This is a book of inspiration. This is a book of guidance and empowerment. Do not take it light. Allah, Allah bil Jiran. Be a good person in your community, in your neighborhood. Be the best in your neighborhood. Allah, Allah bil Aitam. Search about the orphans and try to reach out to them. If you have orphans in your neighborhood, in your city, reach out to them. Help them. Don't neglect them. If you don't have in your city, there are orphans in other cities. There are agencies that are helping orphans in many countries. Reach out to them. Give some donation. Sponsor an orphan. Sponsor one orphan. Doesn't cost more than $500-600 a year. Sponsoring an orphan for the entire year, 365 days. Reach out to the orphans. Build your society. Bring a smile and relief to those who have been forgotten. This is the month of mercy. And he kept telling us his wasiyah until his son, says Imam Ali, could not speak anymore. Because the poison reached his entire body. And his face was swollen. And then Imam Ali said, now I want you to put me facing the Qibla. My son Hassan, should I leave you? You are my oldest son. Carry my coffin. Carry it to a direction where the angels are going to heading you to that direction. There is a grave that has been prepared for me by Nuh and Nabi. He prepared that grave for me. So take me to that destination. But before I leave, I also want you to don't wrong this person in this room, next door room, Abdurrahman ibn Muljam, my murderer. Yes, he murdered me, but still you may bestow mercy and forgiveness on him. أطعموه, feed him from the best of your food, from the best of your drink. Last minute they brought some milk to Imam Ali. He took a sip and he said, the rest, احملوه إلى أسيركم. Take it to Abdurrahman ibn Muljam. Let him drink too. Don't deprive him from his rights. A noble Imam who's thinking of his murderer at the moment of his own death. He's not neglecting him or abusing him. The painful moment arrived. Imam Ali alayhi salam faced the Qibla. All of a sudden he said, Assalamu alaykum ya malaikata rabbi limithli hadha falya'mal al-'amilun. While he was uttering the shahadatain, he realized that there is a bandage on his head. So he said, my children, who put this bandage, headband on my head? Who was the one? There was complete silence. He repeated the question the second time. Nobody answered him. He said, my children, I'm asking you, who put this headband around my injury on my head? A halting voice came from Hussein alayhi salam. He said, Father, I am the one who wrapped your head with this headband to stop the bleeding. Imam Ali answered him. He said, Waladi Hussein, my son Hussein, you are very worried about me, very concerned about your dad. Who's going to be worried about you tomorrow on the sand dunes of Karbala when you are bleeding all over? Who's going to put a headband around your head? Who's going to take your head? Who's going to comfort you during these difficult moments, Ya Hussein? Ultimately, Amir al-Mu'mineen said, Assalamu alaykum ya malaikata Rabbi. He greeted the angels. Assalamu alaykum ya malaikata Rabbi limithli hadha falya'mal al-'amilun. Then he closed his eyes and he said, Allahu Akbar, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And he left this life. Ya mu'mineen, rahimallah man nada wa aliyah wa shahidah wa imamah wa sayyidah. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم.